Let's see. What's up, everybody? Welcome to today's live. I'm super excited. Just got to get my camera adjusted. Here we go. All right, I'm going to post it on the Facebook group. If you guys haven't joined the Amazon Champion Facebook group, the link is down in the description. It's not working oh well. But if you guys have any questions, fire away. I am here to help you guys. We did a live last week. We had a huge response. A lot of people were DMing me, commenting, saying they wanted another one. So here I am. I'm here. My time is your time. So I just want to get you guys your questions answered. Last week we went an hour and a half. So we'll see how long we go today. But we got Coleman on. What's good, man? Welcome to the live. We got 8 people on. Smash the like button. Would really help me out. Also drop a comment. I really appreciate it. So I'm looking forward to this live. So let's see if we have any questions coming in. Little update on the house. It's almost done. Grass is going in tomorrow. Fences are going in on Friday. We're painting the garage. So that's another project. We're putting in a water softener tomorrow. So we just keep adding things every single day, and it's kind of been crazy. But I promise a house tour is coming. I know a lot of people have been asking me about that. So hey, bud, how's your back doing? It's hanging in there. I got the standing desk. Again, I'm going to show you guys. We got, if I can stand up, we got the better back. This thing's a lifesaver. It just kind of helps me with the support. I've been trying to do yoga lately. I've been trying to do some stretching every morning, and we're seeing how that works. But I'm just trying to get into a routine. I haven't been doing so hot with since this whole Corona thing. I've just been kind of a disaster with my schedule. Been going to bed at like 3 o'clock in the morning some nights, and then some nights I'll go to bed at like 10, and then some mornings I'll wake up at noon. Other mornings I'll wake up at 8. I mean, I've just been all over the place. So I'm trying to get in a schedule, trying to get into a routine, and hopefully that will help my back a little bit as well. I'm filing the trademark. Any recommendations? So honestly, right now, I would recommend doing the IP Accelerator program. That's a program inside Amazon where you can basically enroll in brand registry within 2 weeks. So as soon as you file for that trademark, you can enroll in brand registry and have the benefits from it. So I would for sure go through the IP Accelerator program. And from what I've seen, the quotes from the different IP attorneys and companies are not crazy expensive compared to like what I paid my attorney to get my trademarks. So I would highly recommend the IP Accelerator program. Let's see. I'm getting close to my first product. When do you think Amazon will let new products in? So I think very, very soon. On the product that I just launched, it's been like 2 or 3 weeks ago. They are now letting me send that in, but I can only send in 50 units. So it's not enough because I'm selling more than 50 units a day, but at least that's a good sign that they're letting me send in some inventory. My other products, I'm able to send in as much as I want, but it's just the newer products that are limited quantities. So I'm hoping here in the next week or so, they start letting us send in basically every single product. And that is good news for all of us. So that's really exciting. So I'm hoping soon. I don't have an exact date for you, but my prediction and my opinion, I could be wrong, but I think it could be here in the next week or so. Hey, can you explain the difference between Trevin and Trevor? You need to ask my parents that one. No. So Trevin is a mix between Trevor and Kevin. So it's Trevin. It's not Trevor. It's Trevin. Okay. I know it's not a very common name. I think it's pretty cool. But you know, I don't know. That's the best explanation that I've got. Amazon pushed the shipping on my product a month from now again, right when sales were going up. what do you recommend I do with my PPC? Thank you so much. All right, George. So there's two things that you can do with this, and it happened to me, and that's when I made the switch to merchant fulfilled, where I was I'm shipping every single day products out. So if you're able to do that, I would create a separate listing and have one FBA and then one merchant fulfilled. And so the customer has two options and they can pick whatever option is the quickest shipping. So if you have that ability, I would do that. If not, there's not much you can do. I mean, you could turn down PPC. Obviously, your conversion is not going to be as good because the shipping is so long. And so that's why I decided to switch to merchant fulfilled. So if you can do that, that's the best option. If not, just keep running PPC. And yes, you may spend a little bit more than normal, but it's better than not selling anything. Or if you want, I wouldn't do this. You could just turn off PPC in general and just try to be as profitable as possible. And hopefully Amazon here in the next week or so gets that figured out. So that's what I would do. And that's kind of what I did with my business. Let's see. Hey, I tried to launch a product related to the current situation and Amazon suppressed the listing. So honestly, I wouldn't recommend selling like masks, hand sanitizer, Lysol wipes, toilet paper. Amazon was saying that they're allowing people to sell it, but for certain products like the masks and hand sanitizer, you have to require some sort of approval. I mean, hand sanitizer has alcohol in it. It could burn someone's skin. They need to know the ingredients. And so there could be a huge approval process. So if it was me, I would avoid selling those particular products. I know they may seem super lucrative. They may seem like just a home run and a no-brainer, but long-term and also having the potential of getting shut down or like what happened to you suppressing your listing, I wouldn't recommend that. So I'm sorry that happened. I don't have an answer for you. I mean, you could reach out to seller support and see what you can do to get it unsuppressed, but I don't know. I don't have an answer there. Let's see, what else do we got? Can you talk about the items that require approval prior to selling them on Amazon? So there's, I wish I could just kind of name them off the top of my head. I don't have them all memorized, but if you go to Amazon Seller Central and there's a little search bar, you can type in like restricted products or gated categories and just search it inside Amazon Seller Central, and an entire list of products that they'll tell you, okay, you can sell this one or you can't sell this one, or this is restricted, this is a gated category, this category requires approval, or this one is an open category, or there's certain requirements for this one. So that's what I would do for you, is to just search it on Amazon Seller Central, and then you can kind of get a better feel for what you can sell and what not. I have 3 products that are relatively alike. Should I launch one listing or 3 separate? What I did is I was kind of in a similar situation where they were very similar, and I launched them as a variation, and things were doing amazing. I built up reviews, and then what I did is once I built up the reviews, it made more sense for me to split them off and make them separate listings. So I would have to kind of look at the product for sure to tell you a yes or no. But if they're similar and it makes sense as a variation, then I would go for it. But if you're talking about like, I'm trying to think of an example off the top of my head. I don't have one, but if it makes sense to you, then you could do a variation. But at the same time, Amazon doesn't want you just making variations of like 2 random products. It's got to be like a reasoning of why they're together. Like it should be a variation. So be careful with that. But it can be a great strategy to use them as a variation. What do you recommend me? Can I do FBM? I'm brand registered. You can do FBM, merchant fulfilled. It doesn't matter if you're brand registered or not. FBM is just you doing the fulfillment instead of Amazon doing it. Let's see. Is it mandatory to send products in Amazon boxes? You had it in the back wall in previous orders. So no, a lot of people were getting confused about that. And I got a lot of DMs about merchant fulfilled. and they were saying, hey, where do you get Amazon boxes? Do you have to send them in Amazon packages? And no, those boxes were from removal orders. So I had a bunch of inventory at Amazon. They sent me a bunch of boxes, and those boxes are massive. I mean, they're like 2 feet by 3 feet, big boxes. I'm not sending my products in those boxes. I'm getting my packaging from Uline, so little boxes, like 8x4x4 boxes, 8x6x4 boxes. And then I'm getting also bubble mailers. You can get those from Uline as well, or Mailers USA. And they cost like 12 cents, 10 cents per package. But you yourself is responsible for the packaging if you're doing merchant fulfilled. Amazon does not provide any packaging, tape, labels, printer, nothing. You're responsible to package the product, make sure it doesn't arrive broken, and you're responsible to take that package to the post office, drop it off so that it can get shipped out. So you don't need to use Amazon boxes. There's no requirement there. You just need to provide your own packaging. What other questions? When is the best time to start product research? Some of the top competitors for some markets are out of stock, so it's hard to get accurate sales estimate. What are you thinking? So I've been actually doing product research the last few days, and I've seen that the number, I mean, yes, you can look at that and there may be some sellers out of stock, but Amazon has been letting sellers get back in inventory for the last week and a half, 2 weeks. So they should already be back in stock, those top sellers. So I think the numbers are starting to not be as skewed as much. And I think now is a good time to do product research. And again, I'm going to reiterate what I said last week. You can do the product research now, do everything, find samples, get your listing created, do product images. You can take the time to do that while we have downtime, while we're supposed to be at home. And then when in a few weeks or 3 weeks or however long it is, when it's time to send an inventory to Amazon and they're allowing it, you can then go back and recheck the data and make sure that the demand is still good, the competition isn't too crazy. So that's something that you can look at. But I'm doing product research as we speak, and I have a product in the pipeline that I'm going to launch, but I'm just waiting till I can send in all my inventory to Amazon. And the numbers are looking good, and I've kind of done some different research to kind of verify that. So I think now is still a good time. It's just you need to kind of double, triple, quadruple check. Let's see. Where can I buy your course, by the way? In the link in the description. Hey, do you think the research results on Helium 10 will be accurate or currently based on recent sales on Amazon's marketplace? So what I've researched and what I've done product research. I think things are fine, but yes, there may be products that are completely skewed, especially the products that are more in demand with the pandemic that's going on. Obviously, those products are going to be skewed. Other products, not as much. So you just kind of have to look at that, and it completely depends on the product that you're looking at. Found an upgraded variation of a product from a supplier that I haven't been able to find on Amazon. So is it unproven? Is this something I should pursue? Original is selling very well, very well. You need to look and make sure there's no patent on it. You need to obviously make sure that there's demand for it. I mean, if you're selling the same exact product, this is just an upgraded version. You could, for sure, I mean, obviously, if you've been selling that and it's selling well, you could launch an upgraded version of it and maybe create a variation on it and just say upgraded version or version 2 or something. And yeah, you could definitely look at something and do that. I want to take your one-on-one session, have a confusion about trademarks. So I can do a one-on-one session. Currently, what I've been doing is I've only been doing one-on-one sessions with my students that are in my top tiered mentorship program. It sells for $1,000, and you get the entire training course, plus you get coaching calls. I haven't done coaching calls kind of one-on-one with random people in months. It's just, it takes a lot of time. I have so much going on. I have my students to focus on. I have my own Amazon brand. I've been dealing with the house. I've been dealing with my own fulfillment. I mean, I'm just really, really busy. And if I opened up one-on-one coaching calls to just everyone, that would be my full-time job. And my full-time job is selling on Amazon and taking care of my students. So I wish I could. If you do sign up for the course that's $1,000, then I'd be happy to get on a coaching call and kind of break that down. But right now, for the circumstances, I just don't have the time to do that. And so that's why I like doing these lives, to get as many questions answered as possible, and to help you guys out. And I mean, it's completely free. So you guys are lucking out there. I want to launch a new private label product, but Amazon is accepting me a planning inventory of 50 units because it's non-essential. What should I do? So I'm in the same situation. I can't send in more than 50 units, and there's nothing that you can do. I mean, you could send in those 50 units and try to sell those 50 units, and then just be ready to send in another 50. And hopefully in a week or 2 or 3, Amazon just lets you send in more inventory right away. So there's really nothing that you can do other than just send it in and go for it. Or you could just hold on to that inventory and wait to launch it once you can send in more inventory. Also, depending on the product, if it's a crazy, crazy high demand product, then I would probably wait. But if it's a product that you're planning on selling like 5-10 units a day, then you might as well send it in, get it launched, and then just send in more inventory and just keep sending in 50 units. And then you can slowly rank. And then once things start picking back up, you can just send in 200, 300, 1,000 units, or whatever the case is. How many companies should you have when you launch with 0 reviews? Oh, campaigns. How many campaigns should you have? So there's no right or wrong to this question. I've had products where I've launched 2 or 3 campaigns. I've had products where I went through and I dived deep into campaigns, and I opened up like 12, 13 campaigns because I just wanted to attack it at every single angle. I had product targeting campaigns, and I've talked a little bit about this, where I don't put just 100 keywords in one campaign, because when I've done that, I've noticed that Amazon only shows my product, my PPC campaign on a few of those keywords. And so what I do is I only target like 5 to 8 keywords, and then I create another campaign, and then I target another 5 to 8 keywords. And that way Amazon doesn't favor just one keyword, and you kind of get a more evenly shown campaign instead of just one keyword. So there's not really a right or wrong on how many campaigns. You could launch 20, 30, 40, 50 campaigns. There's no right or wrong. It's just how much do you want to spend, and how much time are you looking at to kind of manage it and really dissect the data. And that's probably one of the most important things, is you run the campaigns for a few days, you see what the results are, and then that's when you go back and edit it, adjust the bids, maybe add a keyword or take away a keyword, or add negative keywords if one's not performing well. So there's no right or wrong on how many campaigns. It's just trying to get as many people to buy your product as possible. And for me, sometimes that's creating more campaigns, increasing my bids, and increasing my budget. So that's the goal with a launch, is to get as many people to buy that product, because obviously you don't have the reviews, you don't have the credibility. So you're going to have to spend more. Your ACoS is going to be a lot higher, and you just need to understand that going into a product launch. But over time, as you start ranking organically, as you start getting more reviews, that's going to drop. That ACoS is going to drop, and you're going to slowly be more profitable. So just launch as many as you can to just get that product going. And then when that ACoS is super, super high, then just turn off that campaign and do another campaign or adjust something. So there's no right or wrong there. I just launched a product with PPC. How long should I start optimizing it? My ACoS is high, and I understand that at the beginning it's like that. I hope one day I'm going to reach your numbers. So again, to kind of reiterate that, it's going to take like 2 or 3 days for you to get data, and maybe even quicker or longer, depending on how much you're spending. I mean, if you're spending $100, $200 a day, you're going to get quite a bit of data really quick. But if you're only spending $5, $10 a day, it's going to take a week or so to kind of get the data to see what's performing well and what's not performing. So if you want to kind of expedite the process, if you will, just spend, I'm not just saying to just throw your money. You obviously need to make educated decisions and know what keywords to target. but target keywords that you're finding in Helium 10 Cerebro and from your competitors, and target those ASINs and just put money into it. And if one isn't, and then monitor it like every 8 hours or once a day or every 6 hours, every 10 hours or whatever you want to do, monitor it and see, okay, are these converting or am I just throwing money down the drain? And if you're throwing money down the drain, you can either decrease the bid for that keyword, or you can increase it or just delete it, period. And then you're not targeting that keyword because it's not performing as well. So that's what I would recommend. Can you switch back and forth between FBA and FBM on the same listing? So yes, you can. I actually made a video breaking that down, and that's something very important to do. Is what I did is you can go in and you basically, I'm not going to be able to explain it. I actually have the video where I broke it down, where you just go to catalog, hit add product, you type in your ASIN, and then you just basically are selling on top of your listing. And instead of doing it FBA, you're doing FBM. So when you click on the listing, you have basically two sellers that are selling on your listing, but you're both of the sellers. One is merchant fulfilled, and then the other is FBA. And then that's super easy, where if you want to just switch to FBA, then you can just close that one FBM listing, and then you have both of them, and it's just super easy to toggle back and forth between FBM or FBA or both. So watch that video. I'll put it in the description down below, so that you can watch that. So you can, because I actually dive into my screen, navigate Seller Central to show you how to update that. Let's see. I'm looking to launch a seasonal product. It would primarily sold for spring and summer. The top sellers are selling 3,900 and 1,500 units per month now. Other sellers are selling between 200 and 600 a month. The average review for the top page is 52. Can you explain some risk on a seasonal product? So a seasonal product, I mean, if it sells in the spring and in the summer, that's better than, like, for example, a straight Halloween product. That is a really, really seasonal product. And I've launched a Halloween product, and I will never do it again, because you think that you're going to order enough, or you think that you're not going to order enough. So you order a bunch, and then you get to selling, and then it doesn't sell. And I've been stuck with this stupid Halloween product for the last 2 years. And every time I list it, it just hasn't sold very well. And I thought it was going to sell well, and it didn't. And so I've just been stuck with that. And that's kind of the cons to it. But for a product that sells in the spring and the summer, I'm sure people will still buy it during like the winter or for Christmas. And there's not as much risk. Whereas a product that's just 100% seasonal, that's just for, like, for example, Valentine's Day, or just for New Year's, or just for Halloween, or just for something very specific that's like you have like a 30-day window to sell, that's where I would not recommend it, unless you have a lot of experience and you just have money that you're just like, okay, let's just go for it and let's just kind of throw it at it and see what happens. But for a spring and summer, you have more time. I mean, we're getting close to summer, and I mean, the spring is almost over. So depending on how quick you can get that product, if the lead time is super long, and to get the product here to Amazon, then and you launch it mid-July, then you kind of missed your peak season. So another thing with seasonal products is you need to plan in advance. So something that I would have done is, if I could go back in time, I would have been preparing this product back in January, February, and getting ready to launch it in March, April, so it's ready to sell 100% through the peak season. So that's kind of my thoughts on that. Guys, click on the like button. It's 40 of you and only 11 likes. Yeah, come on, what the heck? Like the video. Thank you. I appreciate it. We got 51 people on, and we got 18 likes. Let's see if we can get 50 likes. That would be my goal by the end of the live stream, if we can get 50 likes. Let's see, working with multiple categories. So when applying for a trademark, I can apply just one or multiple categories. So if you're selling like a garden shovel and an iPhone case, that trademark is going to be completely different. I mean, that's just completely random products. But if it makes sense and you're selling an iPhone, and let's say like AirPod accessories, like you have those two, that would make sense under one brand. And they may be different categories. I mean, an iPhone case may be different than AirPod accessories or something like that, but at the same time, they are related. So you would have to talk with your IP attorney, and with what I talked to him about, there's different classifications, and I don't know everything about that. I mean, I didn't go to school for it. This is just kind of what my attorney told me. There's different classifications for different products, and you may be able to get a classification where the categories are different. So for example, the garden shovel and an iPhone case, you just would need to ask your attorney and see if you can get a classification for that and for this under the same trademark. I know it's probably possible. You just would need to ask him because he would kind of know the details a little bit better. Is 3K enough to get started? Absolutely. 3K is a great budget to launch a product. I've launched products with a lot less than that. I've launched products for a lot more, and you'll start to kind of realize that startup costs is heavily subjective on the product that you pick. A product that is selling for $100, that is going to be an expensive per unit item that you're sourcing from China, and your startup cost is going to be a lot more. But if you're selling a product that's $25 and each unit costs you $5, $6 to source, your startup cost is going to be significantly lower than that product that you're selling for $100. So it just kind of depends on the product that you're looking to sell. It also depends on how many units you're looking to order. If you're looking to get into a market where there's a lot of demand, there's quite a bit of competition, and you need to order tens of thousands of units to get that product launched, it's going to cost more. But if you go for a lower competition product, not as crazy of demand, obviously there's still got to be some demand there, and you're looking to sell maybe 10, 20 units a day, you don't need near as much inventory. Whereas if you're trying to go for these home run products, and me personally, I don't like going for these home run products because so much can go wrong. I mean, the product could absolutely just flop, and then you're just screwed because you spent tens of thousands of dollars in a product, and now you can't do anything with it. So I like going for lower competition products, not as crazy of demand, and then I can kind of test the market and get a feel for it. And then from there, I can attack it head on and then continue to scale that product. And I've used this example a lot. I've used this strategy for every single product. And one of my main products, it started doing $1,200, $1,500 a month. Then it grew to $3,000 a month. Then it grew to $5,000 a month. Then it grew to last Q4 where I was doing $10,000 a day. So you just slowly scale that. And as you rank for other keywords there, then you can slowly grow and scale that particular product. Are you seeing shipping cost inflation from China? So I've been talking with a few of my students, and they've been asking me this. And me personally, I haven't. My suppliers are still giving me the same exact prices that I've been paying for the last 2 years. I haven't seen any increase in price, and maybe it's just the relationship that I've had with my suppliers. I don't know, but I haven't seen any increase in shipping price. I'm a newbie, but I'm pumped for the journey. How long have you been involved with this business? And 2, what are some obstacles you faced at the start that you wish someone warned you about? So just enjoy the process. I'm super excited that you're starting. Is it Nika? But it's going to be a super fun journey. And the biggest, so I'll answer the first one. I've been involved with Amazon for 2.5 years, a little over 2.5 years. But I've been involved in e-commerce for like 3 or 3.5 years. I did drop shipping before. And so I kind of was immersed into the e-commerce space. Drop shipping didn't go too well. And that's when I switched to Amazon, and then things just took off for me. And then the thing that I wish I would have known as a beginner was everything that I'm trying to teach on my YouTube videos and in my course. I've said this a million times. I'm trying to help you guys not make the same mistakes that I have made. And those mistakes are patented products, restricted products, hazmat products, understanding trademarks and hijackers, how to avoid hijackers, and building a brand. Those things are very, very important. Yes, there's other little minor details like PPC, launching, how to differentiate a product, but just make sure that whatever product that you order, you can sell it. It's not trademarked, it's not patented, it's not hazmat, it's not restricted, and it's in a category that you're eligible to sell in. Because I've lost more money than ever by ordering products that I thought I could sell, but then I order them, I get them, and Amazon's like, you can't sell this product. So that's the biggest piece of advice that I could give you. Let's see. Is it normal to have sold products in pending for over 2 weeks? I've had this, and I actually didn't really pay attention to this until I switched to merchant fulfilled. And I've had pending orders for 2-3 weeks, and I don't know what it is, but I have it. And if you have it, it's probably normal, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. Let's see. About at what stage do you recommend registering your trademark? Should you wait until you have proof of concept, steady sales profit, or do you do it right away to prevent anyone else from registering it? So I personally don't register a trademark until I do have that proof of sales and profit, because it makes no sense for me to go trademark something that isn't working. It's kind of, I mean, other people may say differently, and I guess it depends on how much money you have to kind of just throw at your business, because getting a trademark is not cheap. It's not something that just happens overnight. It takes 6 months to 12 months to even register and to get that trademark. So if you go to register it and you go through that whole process and it flops, you just wasted $2,000 on essentially nothing. I mean, literally absolutely nothing. Yeah, you could maybe launch a product from that trademark that's separate from that first product, but I would get proof of sales and see and know, okay, is this product doing well? Is there a product that I want to add on to it? Am I trying to build around this product, or was this kind of just a product to kind of test out and see if Amazon worked or not? So there's kind of a lot of different things to kind of look at there. But I would for sure get kind of proof of concept. Let's see. I already have an Amazon account for 7 months now and LLC for 4 months now, but I haven't started yet. I already stopped my Helium 10 last month. What is your advice on how to start? Man, you're right there. You've done a lot of steps. Obviously, there's a lot more, but the next thing would be to do product research. Just immerse yourself, learn the process. You can watch a bunch of YouTube videos and kind of understand how to do product research, or if you wanted to, you could enroll in a program to kind of guide you along the way. But that was one thing that I wish I could go back at the very beginning of my journey. I wish if I would have known about Amazon, like when I first heard about it, it took me like 2-3 weeks to get started. Like I just jumped onto it, and I wish I would have known about the opportunity 3 years earlier. I mean, the quicker you can get going and start, the more you're going to thank yourself down the road. So just go get started as quick as possible. It's going to be the best thing that you can do. And you're going to learn a lot about yourself, a lot about a business. You're going to learn about what you're passionate about, what things you like and don't like. Is entrepreneurship good for you? Is it what you want to do? Or is a 9-to-5 job or working for someone else the route that you want to take? So I've learned so much from my Amazon business, and I'm so thankful that I jumped into it. And if I wouldn't have, there's no way I would have been where I'm at right now. If I would have waited 6-7 months, there's no way I would be where I'm at right now. It's those 7 months that I just basically sucked at it and I didn't know what I was doing. And then finally I started profiting, and then finally I was able to scale my business and slowly grow it to where it's at right now. So it doesn't happen overnight. It's going to take some time. You're going to have bumps in the road. Just plan on that. If you're not willing to basically pick yourself back up after you fail, if you're not willing to change and adapt, and if you're not willing to put in the work and hustle, then I would say don't start Amazon. But if you're looking to do that and change your life, and you have that in you, you have that grit, you have that motivation and that mindset, the no quit attitude, dude, you just need to jump into Amazon and you will not regret it. So just get going. And as you get going, things will be a lot easier. It's kind of a learning curve. It takes some time to kind of adjust and to learn the whole process. And that's another thing, is some of the things that I may be telling you just might go right over the top of your head, and you may not even understand it or grasp the concept. But you got to understand, I've been doing this for quite some time, and I've been literally studying Amazon every single day. I mean, it's been my full-time job for the last over 2 years. So be patient. There is a learning curve. There's things that take time to learn and some things that you may not understand right off the get-go, but that's why you have the internet, Google, YouTube, training programs, people like me to kind of help you through the whole process. So just go for it. Is there a starting video for beginners like me to watch? I might have some on my channel, kind of breaking down if I was to start from nothing, where would I start? I may have some of those, and maybe I'll make a YouTube video kind of breaking that down for beginners, just kind of ground floor, kind of where do I start? Another option is you could sign up for my course. Like I hate just saying sign up for my course, because that's the last thing that I want to do, is just kind of be that sales guy of, oh, hey, buy my course, like just buy it. No, I want you to do what's best for you. Every situation is different. Some people don't learn well from a course. Some people just learn from trial and error. Yes, that could be more expensive, or it could be cheaper. I mean, there's just so many different ways to attack it, and there's no right or wrong way on how to start selling on Amazon. But the first thing that you do need to do is you need to get a seller account. You need to start learning. You need to start doing product research and just kind of familiarize yourself with the whole process. That's what I would do. Let's see. What do you think about sourcing products from the USA? If you can find a product from the USA and it's at a competitive price point, it's and you can get it and the lead time isn't crazy, then I would say why not? I haven't had any luck on sourcing from here in the United States, but it's an option for sure. When a product is returned, what happens to it and what are to charge? Example, a $20 product. So depending on if that product is damaged, what the product is, I mean, they'll send it back to Amazon, and Amazon will kind of inspect it and see, okay, can we resell it? Or what should we do with it? And if it's in unsellable condition, it will go into what's called stranded inventory. And I have it automatically set up where Amazon just sends me stranded inventory every single week. And those are basically returns where something was broken, or there wasn't something included in the pack, or they didn't want it, or it arrived broken, and they just send it back to me. And there's sometimes that I can salvage that product, or most of the time it's just kind of sitting in my basement or at my warehouse, and I just kind of don't do anything with it. Or Amazon will take it back and they'll resell it, or they'll do what's called Amazon Warehouse, where they'll actually sell it at a discounted price. They'll basically buy it from you because maybe they damaged it, and then they'll basically sell it via Amazon Warehouse, and the packaging may be broken or the packaging just doesn't look right. And so then they'll resell it and they'll reimburse you for it. So there's kind of a few things to look at, but I wouldn't worry about returns too much unless it's causing kind of like you're getting a lot of them. Like if you're selling glass products, breakable products, electronics, those you can have a lot of returns. But if it's a kind of a simple, straightforward product and the images do it justice, then you'll be fine. And that's one thing that you don't want to do is, I mean, obviously you want to make your images just phenomenal. But if your images are kind of portraying a message that is not what the product actually is, that's where you're going to get a lot of returns as well. So just make sure the quality of the product is what the images look like. I mean, I've seen it with my mom. She falls for these stupid drop shipping ads all the time, and they make these products look so cool and so awesome. And then she gets them and they just suck. And my dad has done it as well with a drone. He saw this drone and they were chucking snowballs at it, rocks, and it was basically this indestructible drone. Shows up a month later and it's a little tiny drone that's the size of a baseball that sucks. So just be careful with that. I think it's kind of funny with this drop shipping stuff. How much is your course? Can you give a discount? So right now I kind of have a discount going. I have a payment plan where you pay $249 for the first month, and then the second month you pay another $249, kind of breaking up the payments. That just is helping you so that you don't have to put up all the money up front. You can put up half of it and then the other half later. I don't have any discounts. I don't plan on having any discounts. It's hard for me to do discounts. It's just I wish I could. I wish I could just do a bunch of discounts, but it's unfair for people that have bought it already. And if I was to just all of a sudden slash it to a huge discount, then I'd have people being, hey, I wanted the discount. Like, why didn't you give me the discount? So I just tried to not give a discount to not create any problems. And if you want it, you can get it. If you don't, that's completely fine. Just soak in all this free information as much as you can. And that's what I want you to do. Let's see, currently an Amazon student and bought Trevor's course. It's been extremely helpful and just another person to talk you through the process and giving you strategies. Definitely boosted my confidence. Hey, David, I appreciate that. You're the one, we played Fortnite, right? That was super fun. I posted on my Instagram. I just recently got an Xbox and I started playing some video games just because I was going crazy in the house. And I posted on Instagram saying, hey, who wants to play Fortnite? And David jumped on and we got a chat and it was super fun. So I appreciate that. Can you help me for listing as a first-time seller? How much would that cost me? So I kind of touched on that earlier. I'm not doing any one-on-one coaching calls. Maybe I'll change my mind. And maybe what I'll do is I'll do like 3 days and I'll do like a coaching call blitz where I'll just have people stacked in like every 30 minutes and just do as many coaching calls as possible and try to help as many people at once. And then maybe I'll do that like once a year or once every 6 months. Maybe I'll look at doing that. But right now I've just been so busy that I just don't have the time to do one-on-one coaching unless you're one of my students. Let's see. Finding a supplier from China during COVID time, the shipping is high. What's your recommendation? Again, I haven't seen that personally. I've been sourcing products. I don't know if it's a supplier trying to rip you off, and maybe I need to dive into it a little bit more, but even on the new products that I'm selling, I haven't seen an increase in shipping prices. So that's something that you could look at. Maybe you could reach out to a bunch of different freight forwarders and get quotes and just try to keep them honest, reach out to multiple suppliers and see kind of what they're quoting. Let's see. Sheila says Trevor's course is worth every penny and worth more than he charged. I bought a $500 course and I bought a $3,500 course and mine is way better. That's the one thing that I will tell you. I appreciate that testimonial. And I'm glad that mine is better than a $3,500 course. But my recommendation is to not pay more than $1,000. I mean, even $500. The reason why I have a $1,000 course is because it comes with coaching calls. Essentially, you're paying $500 for just the course, and then also you get mentorship along with it. Don't pay more than that. I see people that are charging absurd amounts of money, and I think it's just a joke. There's no need to spend $3,500 in a course. There's just not. Use that money and go launch a product. Launching that product will be way more valuable. You'll learn way more than just spending it. Like I know people are saying like you're investing in yourself, and it kind of makes it so that you have more motivation to go because you're invested more. You have more skin in the game. I completely understand that concept, but I think $500 is enough skin in the game. And if it's not, like, then you have motivational problems. $3,500. I'm not trying to say that was a mistake on your part, but I just don't want people to spend that much money on a program when you can get information elsewhere for a lot cheaper. Let's see. What can I do if my main word creates impressions but not sales? The other keywords I want to put in the manual campaign include this word. Thank you. If you search that keyword, are the products similar to yours or are they different? if they're different, then that keyword isn't your main keyword. So that's a thing to kind of look at. Another thing is, how are your main images? Some people may just not like your listing and how it looks, and it may not look professional. And so they click on it and they're like, this is probably not very good. And on top of that, it could be where they click on it and they like it, but you don't have any reviews. So get reviews. That's going to help your conversion rate a ton, and it's gonna basically drive a lot more sales if you have more reviews. And I wish that wasn't the case, but shoppers on Amazon are looking at reviews and they're gauging, okay, should I buy this product or this product? And 9 times out of 10, they'll go with the product that has more reviews and a higher rating. So try to get more reviews. Look at your main images, look at those keywords and see if those keywords are related. And if they are, then I would say that it's probably your listing and the reviews as well, or it could be the product itself. It's just not up to par compared to the other products. So, I mean, there's a lot of different things to look at there. Can you target competitor brands in PPC? Yes, you can do the product targeting campaigns and target their specific ASINs, and I would highly recommend doing that. That's what I do. I see what's selling well, and I target those, and then you can also, I mean, there's a lot of different strategies on PPC. There's not just one thing that works, and there's not just one campaign that's just like, here's everything, this is just exactly what you need to do. There's a lot of things that kind of heavily depend on the product, your competition, the nature of kind of the category or niche. So there's a lot of different things, but yes, you can target products in PPC. Is a Helium 10 a one-time pay software, or is there a monthly fee? So it's a monthly fee. It's a monthly subscription fee. There's not really any one-time purchases. The only one-time purchase was like 2 years ago with Jungle Scout, and I bought that. I think, I mean, it was this best deal. I mean, you paid like it was like $100 or something, and you had the Chrome extension for life. But all the software companies are now switching to subscription, and that's just kind of the nature of the game. And it's just kind of a business expense that you just have to plan on paying, because you need these tools to kind of grow your business. The follow-up tool, you have the keyword research tool, you have the Chrome extension, kind of all come in a lump sum, kind of all come together. And that's kind of the only way of doing it. So yes, it's a monthly fee. Right now, actually, Helium 10 is doing 80% off until the end of April. So if you're looking to get Helium 10, I would get the first month for under $20, and you can basically do everything that you need for $20. I put the link in the description of this video, so make sure to check that out. Get 80% off Helium 10. I mean, that's huge. Let's see. How many units sales per day do you think is a good indicator to know if it is doing well for a product? So for me, I had a student the other day reach out to me, and there's kind of two things. Number one, don't compare yourself to someone else, because someone may say, oh no, a product has to be doing 100 units a day, 300 units for me to even spend my time on it. And I completely disagree with that. If a product is selling even 1 unit a day, and you're profitable, why not sell that product? Why not? You're literally not doing anything. I mean, once you have the listing created, you already spent the time to find the supplier. It is as easy as one time a month, or once every 2 months, or even if it's once every 3 weeks or once every 2 weeks. You send a message to your supplier and you say, hey, I need another 100 units, or I need another 200 units. It's a simple message. It takes 30 seconds. You get the order, you pay the deposit, it gets processed, and then they reach out and they say, hey, the order is ready. Can you pay the 50% deposit? You pay the 50% deposit, you send them the labels, they send it to Amazon, and in a matter of 20 minutes, 30 minutes of work, you have more inventory. So the way that I look at it is, a success of a product is whether or not it's profitable. Obviously, yeah, you want to shoot for more units because obviously the more units you sell per day, the more you're making. But don't get down on yourself if you're selling 2, 3, 4 units a day. That's a huge accomplishment. Some people don't even sell anything. So you should feel very proud of yourself for launching and selling 3, 4 units a day, and that's only going to go up as you get more reviews. And it's not that much work to replenish the inventory and continue to sell it. And I know there's the argument of, well, I'd rather have my money tied up in a product that's the ROI is better and I'm turning inventory quicker. And yes, I completely understand that. But for me, I'm like, hey, if this product is making me an extra $500 a month and I literally don't have to do anything other than order inventory once a month, why am I not going to keep that product? If a product is profitable and you're selling, then I would say that's a success. And going back to my student, he was thinking and he was getting down on himself and he was making an extra $500 a month with his product. And he was thinking about basically throwing it in the bag and doing a different product. And I'm like, dude, no, that's an awesome product. You're making an extra $500. People would kill to have an extra $500 with doing very little work. And that's the cool thing about Amazon. It's very front loaded where all the work is up front. Obviously finding the product, finding the supplier, getting the product images. You've invested a lot of time in it, so you might as well just continue to sell that product. And from my experience, as I've kept these products, they continue to grow over time as I get more reviews, as I organically rank, and I just stick there hard, and it helps my brand. And that's another thing is with my brand, I'm willing to launch a product and I have a product there and then I'm launching another product, and I have, let's say 10 products under the same brand. That's super beneficial because more people are seeing my brand name. It's brand recognition. People are going to refer me. It gives me more credibility. So that's something that I've talked about with people, and that's huge. Don't compare yourself. Don't think that if you're not making $1 million that you're failing, because if I was to do that, I mean, there are a lot of sellers that are doing 7 figures per month. If I was to compare myself to them, it would make me feel like I suck and my Amazon business is horrible and my products are not worth it. But I know that what I'm doing, every extra $100 matters and it counts. And that's the biggest thing that people fall into, that kind of rut, and they just compare themselves, but don't do that. So there's no set number of what is a successful product and not. So we got 62 people on. Let's see, we got to get 50 likes. Come on, like this video. I appreciate it. Hope you guys are enjoying. I hope I'm giving as much value as possible. I really enjoy doing these things. Let's see. Thanks. My ACOS currently is at 56%. Is that high? So for a launch, and honestly, I have some campaigns that are 56%, and I have them there at 56% because I'm trying to rank for specific keywords. So it's going to be a little bit higher. And what you can do is kind of look at the keywords and adjust it and tweak it and try to get it down, but it's going to take some time. And again, reviews, the more reviews you have, the lower that's going to be. And also coupon codes. I'm really bummed that Amazon has taken those coupon codes away for right now. But coupon codes will help that ACOS as well. If you throw a little 5% coupon code, those should be back available here shortly as well. That will help your ACOS drop as well. Let's see. Do you use Facebook Manny Chat for product launches? I do not. I've never felt the need. Facebook, I know the value of it, where you're obviously building a list, but there's a lot of kind of gray area of doing it with Manny Chat. I know a lot of people will say it's 100% TOS compliant, and yes, it can be if you're doing it properly, but I've never felt the need. PPC has worked great, and then there's other ranking strategies that I've talked about, and also that are in my course that I've just haven't felt the need to do Manny Chat. Let's see. Hey, Trevor, when do you recommend to pay the second half of the Alibaba order from the supplier? My item is currently in process of being customized, and I just want to check. So don't pay the second half of that order until they've sent you pictures saying the product is complete, we're shipping it out. That's when you would pay the 50% deposit or the 70% deposit, the rest of the deposit. Don't pay anything until it is 100% ready to be shipped. That way you have kind of leverage to negotiate with the supplier if they're taking a long time. You can say, hey, like, I want to pay you, but I need my product done. Let's see. Good advice, Trevin. Don't compare yourself. Like this video. Yes, so much value. I appreciate that. It, like, when I get, thank you. I appreciate that. I get loss of words sometime when people appreciate what I've been doing, and it just makes my day. So I appreciate that. How come I cannot search my own product anymore on Amazon? I can't get to see how many reviews I have. If I open the listing using seller account, will this activate PPC? I'm not quite sure I understand that question, but if you go to your inventory tab on Seller Central and then you click on the actual title of the product, it will redirect you to Amazon. And if it shows an error, then something is wrong there. So that's what I would do, is kind of click on inventory, click on the product, and if it redirects you to Amazon and you can see the listing, then it should be fine. It's just you may not be ranking for that product in it, and that's probably why it's a little bit harder to find. Can sold by be different from brand name? Absolutely. This is something that a lot of people do get confused on. And let's use an example. I'm going to use a generic brand name. We'll say, I'm just trying to think of a random, here's an example. So let's say my Seller Central account is Life Simple. That's my LLC. That's the name of my company is Life Simple. I can go and launch as many brands as I want, and it can be sold by Life Simple, but then I have a product. Let's say this is my brand. This Rode is my brand. I could have Rode as a brand, and it's sold by Life Simple. I could have Canon as a brand, and it's sold by Life Simple. And I could have multiple brands underneath that one seller account. So yes, you can do that. Obviously, Rode and Canon are brand names that I don't own. That's just kind of an example, but you kind of get the point of it. You always say to have a white background on your first picture. If all of the products on first page competitors don't, will this hurt you, or stick to the white background? John, share that with me in the DMs. I know we've been talking back and forth. Kind of give me that example. We won't talk about it here on YouTube, but that's interesting because Amazon requires it to be a white background. So if other people aren't doing it, something may be off. And sometimes you can get away with not doing a white background, but what happens, at least what I've done, is I didn't have a white background, or I had some like text in the images, and then Amazon basically suppressed my listing and it wasn't showing for like 12 hours. And then I finally realized, I was like, oh, this is why I'm not getting any sales, is because my listing is not being shown because I didn't have the right main image. So I'd have to look at that. But for the most part, actually, this is Amazon's terms of service. You have to have a white background image. So I'm not sure why they wouldn't be and why they're kind of letting that slide through the cracks. Trevin, how do you do the PPC to launch a product? What is your strategy? Thank you. So there's, like I was mentioning, I just try to create as many campaigns. I target, obviously, my main keywords. I go to Helium 10 Cerebro. I do a reverse ASIN lookup, and I find my top 3 keywords. I obviously search them on Amazon, pull the Chrome extension, see how competitive they are, see what products are coming up. And like I was saying, is if you search for a keyword and your product doesn't show up at like a similar product to yours, that may not be the best keyword to target and to rank for. And so what I do is I try to find the best keywords. I create a manual exact campaign for those keywords that I'm just trying to push, and I'll increase the bid for those main keywords. and just drive as much traffic and try to get as many sales as possible, because that's where I'm trying to rank organically. Then I'll also have automatic campaigns. I'll have product targeting campaigns. I'll have other manual campaigns, maybe a manual phrase campaign, a manual broad campaign. I mean, there's no right or wrong. It's just trying to get as many people to your listing, as many eyes on your listing, and for them to buy that product. So just like I was saying, you could run 13 campaigns, you could run 3 campaigns, and you could get very similar results. Let's see, if you have a staple product with amazing branding, would it be hard to hit 30K a day in sales since it's an essential product? So obviously there's a lot to go into that. And yes, you could hit 30K a day in sales. I mean, people are doing it. But for you to, I mean, first you have to have a lot of money. I mean, if you're selling 30K a day, you have to have like hundreds of thousands of units at Amazon ready. And if you're ordering 100,000 units, that's expensive. Even if each unit costs you $3, that's $300,000 that you're investing in that product. So it does come with a price tag. Another thing is essential products right now. I kind of have in the comment, if you guys can still hear me. All right, now you should be able to hear me. Can you guys still hear me? Sorry, I don't know what happened to the live. Okay, perfect. So what was I saying? The essential products, what people are thinking is people are only buying essential products on Amazon. That's not the case. People are buying the most random products still. So what I would do is just kind of not go for this $30,000 a day product, my personal opinion, unless you just have $1 million cash that you're looking to burn. Let's see. How do I get a type of lock made in China? Where do I start to get the specs made? So you would, if you're looking to like 100% customize a product, you need to get like a 3D design, so you can hire like a freelancer to do something like that, get all the specs, and then you send it to a supplier. So if it's like, depending on like the material of metal works with that type of metal, and then you send them the, if they can work with it and basically create a mold. It does take some time. That's going to be a little bit more expensive if you're looking to kind of create something from scratch. Can you recommend any professional accountant that can help me file my taxes for my FBA business? So something that's going to be a complete game changer is getting your bookkeeping in check. So if you have your bookkeeping done properly, and when I say properly, you have like a QuickBooks account, which QuickBooks and Amazon and A2X is just a nightmare. It takes forever. It's a lot of work. You have to do it manually. You have like your income statement, your profit and loss, your balance sheet, and all of that stuff. Then it's as simple as finding any CPA to file your taxes. If you don't have that, then you're going to want to find a bookkeeper, and you're going to have to backtrack your expenses throughout the year and basically do that. And the company that I've been using that has completely just like changed my life is called Bench, and they do your bookkeeping for you. And I've been trying to find the perfect solution for Amazon accounting and bookkeeping, and I just wasn't finding it until one of my friends referred me to it. And now that I have it, I will not do anything with my accounting ever again. I won't touch my bookkeeping. I will always have Bench. They're a professional bookkeeping service for very, very minimal cost. For them to go backtrack your expenses for an entire year will be like $2,000, and that is dirt cheap. So you could do that. And then what I would do moving forward is actually have them just do it month to month. And I have a link down below. It's a massive discount. You get 20% off for the first 6 months, and then you get 1 month free as well. So check that out. Bench accounting, bookkeeping is by far the best solution for Amazon sellers, e-commerce sellers in general. They specialize in e-commerce, and they know kind of what to categorize as an expense, what you can write off Central and download the reports. It's just super easy. And it took me 3 45-minute phone calls to set up. So Bench would be your solution there. All right, we're going to wrap it up here. I appreciate it. We have 49 likes. We need one more like. I'm not getting off of this until we have 50 likes. So get me one more like, but we'll wrap it up here. Let's see what other questions we got. How much do you recommend Jungle Scout for product research? I think Jungle Scout is a great company. I mean, they were kind of they were the ones that blazed the trail, and they were kind of the first one. Hey, we got 56 likes. Thank you guys. Jungle 57. Let's go. Get it up to 65 now. Jungle Scout was kind of the one that first kind of started the whole thing, and they just blew up, and they've done really, really well. The only thing that I have with them, and there's actually 2 tools that I like of Jungle Scout, which I'll talk about a little bit later, is their pricing is just a little bit more expensive, and they don't offer as much compared to Helium 10. And with Helium 10, the data that they provide, their tools that they have is just they have more for the money. And so that's why I like it. The data is very similar. I have both Chrome extensions on my computer. I ran them. Numbers are very, very similar. I mean, they may be off by $1,000 or a couple hundred searches. They're very similar, but it's just a little bit more expensive. And that's kind of the way that you look at it. And also with my teaching, it's also just easier to kind of follow along if you have the same exact software tool. And so all my students have Helium 10 because that's what I teach in my course, and using Cerebro to verify, going in and doing different product research methods. It's just easier to follow along if you have the same exact software. Jungle Scout is great. You can accomplish the same exact thing. It's just with my teaching, I don't use Jungle Scout other than the 2 tools, but it's not even for product research. I'll show you guys later. But that's kind of my thoughts there. What do you do about a really bad review? Stays on the top. It's hurting my sales. 100% fake review. Man, I wish there was a way to get those removed. It happens, and that's why you just need to continue to get more reviews and try to offset that. And that's the hardest thing. Is when that happens, there's really nothing you can do. Let's see. When did you decide to launch a second product versus growing your first one? That's a great question. It's all about cash flow. If you have enough money to keep that first one in stock, and you have 2-3 months of inventory, and you have enough money for that, and then you have leftover money to launch a second product, that's when I would launch a second product. If you have the money, and that's what a lot of people kind of have a misunderstanding and a misconception of, that is just launch as many products as possible, but then you spread yourself too thin, and then you don't have the money to keep those winning products in stock, and then that's where it just hurts your business. So make sure you have enough money to launch that second product. And if it requires you kind of maybe pulling some money from your savings or from your main job or your main source of income to do so, you could do that. But that's what I would recommend. How do you give permission Helium 10 to use your account? So with Helium 10, as soon as you sign up for the service, it basically walks you through the process. And then like with Bench, they can download my reports to obviously do my bookkeeping. They walked me through it on the phone, and they basically walked me through, go to settings, go to user permissions, enter in the email, then you send them an invitation, and then you give them access to certain, and you're obviously only giving them limited access. They can't do everything and anything with your account. You're just giving them certain access to certain things. Do you still do your own PPC, or do you outsource it? I still do my own PPC, and this is something that honestly, I'm super close to outsourcing it. I've thought about it because I am the laziest person when it does come to optimizing my PPC, and I feel like I'm leaving a lot of money on the table because I just haven't spent the time to do it. I actually spent an hour today doing it, but it's one of those things where it's not my top priority, even though it should be optimizing it. So I've thought about outsourcing it, and I may, and I'll keep you guys updated on if I do or not. But I haven't as of right now. Let's see. My first product's ready for shipment, but I'm holding it off because of the corona outbreak. Yep, I mean, there's nothing that you can do there. You just have to wait. But thanks again for answering the questions and being genuine. I appreciate that. I'm trying to be as open and as authentic and as genuine as possible. I'll be the first one to admit I'm not the most professional. I don't talk super professionally. I mispronounce words. I don't have the best grammar. But what I do know is how to sell on Amazon. So I appreciate that. Your link for bench accounting is not working. I will update it as soon as I end with this video. I'm not sure why it wouldn't be working, but I'll make sure to update that. Maybe I can throw it in the chat real quick, but it should be working. I don't know why it wouldn't be. But yeah, bench accounting is freaking bomb. It's game changer. Let's see if this works. See if that link works for you. So should we all wait until Corona goes away before we sell our first product? I think we're going to be able to send in inventory very shortly. And I've mentioned this before. I like getting everything prepared and getting your samples, making sure that the product quality is good, taking your time to find the right supplier. And by the time you do that, that's going to be 3-4 weeks. It could even be longer. Amazon will be ready to accept shipments. So I would say don't just wait for things to happen. My dad always told me that there's 3 kinds of people. There's people that make things happen. There's people that watch things happen, and there's people that say, what happened? What of the 3 are you going to be? Are you going to be the person that makes it happen? Or are you just kind of watch around and wait for things to happen? Or are you going to be the person that's like, oh, what just happened? Me personally, I'm going to make it happen. Let's see. How much would I have to pay you to guide me to getting 100 sales per day? I wish I could throw a price, and I mean, the hard thing with that is if I was to spend all my time doing that and helping you, there's not really a price tag on that, because I could, and I'm trying not to be selfish, but I could be doing that for myself, and I could be raking in that profit every single day instead of just getting a kind of a one-time consulting fee. So me personally, I don't have a price tag on that, because I mean that's a lot of work on my part, and I'd rather spend that on my own business, my own FBA business, to get to that point. I know that's being selfish, but that's just kind of the reality there. All right, we're gonna wrap it up. Let's see, a few more questions. Did you open up a business account strictly for FBA so that it would be easier for your bookkeeper to keep count of your expenses? I did. I did that from the beginning. I have a separate bank account, separate credit cards, separate everything, because that's the right way to do it, and it's easier for taxes. You can write off certain things, and it's just structuring it that way. It makes it easier for the long run. And if you're looking to sell your business, say in a year or 2 years, you have a legitimate business with bookkeeping history, and it's easier to sell all disorganized under your kind of personal information. So I would recommend trying to separate it. It's taken me a long time to do that. I mean, I've always had a separate bank account, and I've always had separate things, but I would do a lot of personal expenses or a lot of business expenses on a personal card. And it's just easier to just kind of separate that and just have one thing, just business, and then the other thing, just keep that personal. Let's see. Do you have an LLC for any of your Amazon businesses? All my Amazon businesses, I opened up an LLC, and then one of them, I converted it to an S corp. But I do have LLCs as He will have way more sales than you, buddy. Not sure what that means. All right. Well, I appreciate it. We got to 63 likes. If you guys enjoyed and you guys haven't liked this video, leave a thumbs up. If you guys haven't yet subscribed to the channel, I don't know what you're waiting for. Go subscribe, share my channel with a friend. I really appreciate it. Just share as much as possible. I'm trying as possible. And it's been a super fun journey, and it's all because of you guys, all of your support. And I just want to say thank you guys. It really means the world to me. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me on Instagram in the DMs. I'd love to have you in to my full mentorship program, my A to Z course. The link will be down in the description down below, or you can just go to amzchampions.com, get signed up. I'd love to have you in as a student, kind of guide you through the whole process and guys' success. Take advantage of this opportunity. Amazon is only getting bigger. There's only more demand. And with what's going on, don't let it scare you. Let it motivate you to go out and crush your dreams and to start your journey. And just don't wait around, because if you're waiting on the sideline, watching things happen, there's another person that's making things happen and just absolutely crushing it. So biggest takeaways from the video: don't compare yourself. Still a great time to start selling on Amazon. PPC, there's no just one way to go about it. There's a lot of different things. Trademarks are important. IP accelerator program, would recommend that once you kind of get that stable, that stable, that product is working. But I hope you guys found a lot of value, and we will see you guys soon. Hopefully, maybe we'll do another one soon. Let me know in the comments if you guys want another one.